Oh, oh, oh. It's not him, it's me. Hello, it's Christmas Eve, Saturday the 24th of December, and this is your rather festive edition of the magazine. I'm here with you for the next hour or so to have a look at what's going on around our area of Birmingham, Solihull, the Black Country and beyond. So let's see what we've got in store for you on Christmas Eve. Yes, hello again and welcome to the Birmingham News Christmas magazine. Coming up on today's show, we're going to start with a preview of a very special Christmas programme here on Made in Birmingham. Then we'll turn to Carl Jones for his assessment of the latest on the silver screen. Des will be joining me for some of his What's On highlights for the coming week. Johnny Doom returns with his pick of the gigs, and we'll remind ourselves what's been going on around our area too, so it's all within the pages of this week's Christmas magazine. So then, it's Christmas and we've got a very special programme in store for you. It's Christmas by candlelight, so let's have a sneak peek and also a look behind the scenes.
I will just interrupt you. I just wanted to dance. It's Christmas, so why don't we?
Hey, if you can't dance at Christmas, then when can you dance?
Absolutely. It should be Christmas every day.
Absolutely. I wish it was.
I know.
I feel a song coming on.
I feel a dance coming on. Absolutely incredible, Carl. And what have you done to this choir? Phenomenal.
Do you know, it's one of those things where we just kind of had this idea, this nugget of an idea, because I've been a big believer in encouraging young people, encouraging young talent, and getting young talent and fusing them with professional singers and professional musicians. So Tracy Riggin, the choir director, and myself, we sat down and we thought of doing this with this particular carol concert at the school, and I suggested, well, why don't we get a studio school choir together and fuse them with some more experienced gospel singers.
I am just in awe of the courage and the confidence and the inspiration these young people are going to give to someone watching tonight. What does Christmas mean to you?
Oh wow, how much time have you got? I love Christmas. I love the family aspect of it, and family getting together and just seeing members of the family I haven't seen for a long time. And as a Christian, obviously, for me, it's one of the most important times of the year when we remember this God, Creator God, coming down as a baby, and showing such humility to do that, to live as a human being, and show us what true love is all about.
Absolutely incredible sound. I mean, right now we've had to kind of take a step outside the studio because the sound is just thunderous, absolutely thunderous. Why did you want to become part of the choir?
Well, because I really love singing and I do performing arts here, so I don't really get a choice to do music. But I've been singing since really I could talk. It's just one of my passions. It just makes me feel happy and I really get into the music. So it's a great opportunity to be able to actually sing in front of people and let them enjoy my singing.
You're now still doing rehearsal. How are you feeling in terms of nerves up until you actually do the Christmas by candlelight?
I'm actually feeling okay. I ain't one for nerves. I'm used to performing from theatres to actual just in the hall. So it's okay, yeah.
You talk like a pro. I will be probably shaking and sweating all over. So what do you think this time it'll be special with the choir singing to your family, or has it always been a special moment for you?
It's always been a special moment, but I think it'll make them feel proud of me as well for being able to sing in front of people and everything and just making other people smile as well at Christmas time.
I think that's the spirit of Christmas, trying to make other people smile, isn't it? What do you want to say to someone who's probably going through a difficult time and not really confident in their own talent and ability?
It's natural to have nerves. It's actually good to have nerves because it shows you that, like, it kind of proves that you know things aren't as good as they could be, but always can improve. And sometimes it's not as good as you think it is, but there's plenty of times to practice in the future and learn from your mistakes.
What do you want to be?
Well, I want to become an actress, but I've always wanted to become a singer too, but I don't know what's going to work out.
From what I see and what I hear, I think a very bright future is up for in store for you. I want you to enjoy your Christmas, and would you like to say something to everybody today as it's Christmas Day?
I hope you enjoy your Christmas and hope you enjoy all your presents, because no matter what, if it's socks or a book, it still proves that your family cares for you and it's from the heart that counts.
I'll ask a cheeky question on Christmas. I think I'm allowed one cheeky question.
Ask away.
What's your favorite Christmas song from tonight's show?
The song that you could probably hear in the background now is a song called Mary's Child. Beautiful song. And the other song, if I can have two.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, well, let's be greedy. The other song is Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel's voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Beautiful song. I love that song.
My favorite song.
Yeah.
I remember singing it in the choir in high school, and you'd have the whole group just go into a crescendo, and it's just incredible. Thank you for that.
Well, the
Carl.
choir sounds absolutely fantastic when singing that song. So yeah,
I feel
looking forward
a
to it.
musical twitch coming on.
Oh,
I feel
yes.
it. I
Can you
think
feel it?
I can
Yes.
feel it, and
Yes.
and I hope everyone watching tonight can feel the musical twitch through their bones. Lovely to talk to you, Colin.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm really happy with
well,
what
listen,
you're doing.
Thanks else? Yeah, well, thanks for coming and just poking your nose in and just having the mooches. It's always good to see people just dancing in the background. I saw you.
Did you? Probably if everyone is lucky, they'll see me groove a little bit more later on in the actual show. Thanks you very much.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
So that's Christmas by Candlelight, 7 o'clock on Christmas evening, and again at 9 o'clock on Boxing Day. Right, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, Carl will be here with his Look at the Silver Screen, and Des will join me with his What's On highlights for the festive week ahead. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to this festive programme with me, Lee Bannister. Now, Des will be joining me shortly for a look ahead to some of the highlights of what's on during the coming week in our area. But first, it's time for a good look at the silver screen. So fresh from his movie slot, in the lowdown, here's our very own movie mogul. It's Carl Jones.
Hi guys, well it's that time of the week where we take a look at what's hot and maybe what's not at cinemas around the West Midlands, all seen as it's Christmas, some turkeys maybe as well as some treats. Now, Rogue One is without doubt the talk of the town at the moment, the new Star Wars spin-off film, which is packing them in at the box office and has had a fantastic response from audiences and critics too. Our own Felicity Jones from the West Midlands, of course, is the star of the show, playing a rebel called Jin, who gets herself into a scrape and has got a bit of a secret revolving around her father. It all leads to the evil empire, a cameo appearance from Darth Vader no less, which is a real crowd pleaser, and all in all it's a really gritty entry to the Star Wars series, probably fewer gimmicks, better paced, and certainly you get bang for your buck by watching it on screen. It goes along at a real lick. Here's a little clip we've got for you here of Jin, Felicity Jones, who's got herself into a bit of a scrape and needs rescuing.
What now? I don't know. Must be another pickup. I thought we had everybody.
Closer! Halleck! Liana Halleck!
You wanna get out of here?
Hey! Move at me!
Congratulations. You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
So, Rogue One of many, many films that are on at cinemas at the moment. This week we've had two new releases, Ballerina, an animated film, and we've also had Passenger, which is a sci-fi adventure with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. And at the box office, still flying high, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We've got Sully, the true story, with Tom Hanks playing the hero pilot who landed a plane miraculously on the Hudson River in New York without losing a single life. So lots and lots of fantastic films coming up. Now this evening I will be bringing you my own top 10 countdown of my favourite films of 2016, and I'm joined by Angelo Edwards, another film critic, and we'll be comparing notes. And I'm happy to say, yes, we agree on a few, but we disagree on quite a few as well. So that should be quite fun. That's 10 o'clock Christmas Eve show, and then repeated again on Christmas Day. Don't forget, I'd love to know your favourite films of 2016, and maybe any of the ones that you've not liked quite so much. For me, worst film of 2016, Jennifer Aniston in Mother's Day. The minute that it was released on Father's Day in the UK, I knew that something wasn't quite right. I'll be back with more film news very soon.
And thank you very much to Carl, and Merry Christmas to him. Merry Christmas somebody else now. Merry Christmas, Des.
Oh, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. I've got the suit.
I know.
Do you want to borrow it?
Okay.
Right, now, it's a little unusual because we're going to have a look at all the festive offerings, you know, what's on around the area.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing mainly it's pantomimes, isn't it?
It is. It is. Well, I mean, you know, come on, Christmas,
Yeah.
pantos. What else are you going to go and see?
What else indeed?
There's not a lot else, actually, to be honest. I mean, last week Gary and I were at the Hippodrome. So, I mean, you've got to start there. The Hippodrome is always regarded as probably being one of the best in the country. And this year's probably no exception. You've got John Barrowman,
Oh yeah.
You got the Crankies. In fact, I'm fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get them on Life Stories.
Oh really?
There's a good possibility I won't be able to.
They've been around for years, haven't they? The
Yeah.
Crankies.
Yeah.
Because they did like the working men's clubs and so
Oh,
on, didn't they, in the early
I
days?
worked with them when they were doing the working
Yeah.
men's clubs. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, I remember them as children's performers, but they weren't in the first place, were they?
No.
Like a lot of them weren't.
No. I mean, and the other lot, the Mighty Atom and Roy,
Yeah.
they were the sort of like, those two went hand in hand.
Wow.
But yeah, so
Well, that'd be
fingers
good.
crossed, might be able to get hold of them. And you've also got Matey Boy from EastEnders in it as well. But as well as that, you've got the Wolverhampton Grand
Oh yeah.
and Her Majesty Doreen.
Doreen
Is in
Tipton. Do you know, I've never met her. She comes from my neck of the woods and I've never met her.
No.
I'll have to meet her one of these days.
Well, I mean, you know, she's. I should imagine you have to queue up now for.
She's very famous.
Yeah. And so that one's getting rave reviews. Actually, I was
Yeah.
reading a review about it the other day, and it said she's just outstanding.
What is it? What is the pantomime
Aladdin.
issue? Aladdin. Ah, right.
Yeah.
And what's the one at the Hippodrome?
The Dick Whittington.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and also Malcolm Stent is doing the one at the Core Theatre. That's Dick Whittington as well.
Yeah.
But Malcolm was telling me what they do every year. They make sure that they employ professional actors and actresses. Now, you know, from small companies. He says, we're not a charity, but we will make sure that people like that are in work,
Oh, that's good.
which is a really nice thing.
Yeah. I like
And
that.
Malcolm, you know, he's an institution.
Well, we met him earlier in the year, didn't we?
Yeah,
He's great.
And you know, you got to book up well in advance because it sells out every year. And so good on him. I mean, I'm just reading through now. You've got Wind in the Willows at the Old Rep. Now I suppose that's not really a panto, but it's a really good Christmassy show.
I like Wind in the Willows. I mean, I remember the old TV show back in the 80s,
Yeah.
but I've read the book at school.
Yeah.
And yeah, it lends itself to the panto.
It does.
Panto,
It
doesn't
does. Beauty and the Beast. That's in Redditch. Wizard of Oz at the Blue Orange. Blue Orange Theatre in the Jewellery Quarters is a great little institution, and you know, we should support it. They really try hard. We get lots of stuff sent through to What's On, so I always try and support that.
Yeah.
Over in Lichfield, Sleeping Beauty at the Garrick.
Ah, yes.
Now, a lot of these finish on New Year's Eve. The Grand goes on into January, as does the Hippodrome. And then there's a couple of events as well, like Millennium Point, you know, the think tank.
Oh, yeah.
There's that Roland Emmett, the guy who makes all the machines out of weird and wonderful things.
Yes.
And he's got this Magical Machines, I think it's called. Is it Magical Machines? But he's got Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the car there.
Oh, well, we've mentioned this before,
We
haven't
have,
we?
yeah.
It doesn't fly. Well,
It doesn't. Marvellous Machines, that's what it's called.
yes. Oh,
but
brilliant.
Roland Emmett, he's been, you know, his stuff, I can remember it as a kid, going to see a clock in Nottingham in the station that he'd made, this outrageous thing. So there's that on, and the Millennium Point, you know, think tank's always a good place to go and visit.
Do you know, I haven't been. Never been. I always meant
Spitfire, they've got the Spitfire thing there, exhibition.
to. Oh, well.
You've also got the Moscow State Circus.
Oh, that's something to behold.
Yeah. Well, I know Lowdown went down there, and I drove past it the other day, and it's got this. The big top is unbelievable. You know, these the new style ones.
Yeah.
And they got like air conditioning or heating and everything.
Wow.
And yeah, it's really brilliant. And actually, quite early on into the new year, I think it finishes about the 2nd. This Magic Lantern
Yes.
thing at the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine went there and they said it is quite magical, you know, especially as it in the early evening, and you've got all these, and they're huge as well.
Yeah.
You know, they're not little things. It's a really nice spectacle to go to.
Excellent. So there's plenty going on over Christmas.
There
then.
is, yeah. And then coming up to New Year, you know, got to mention them. Some mates of mine, the Tom Walker Trio, are playing at the Blue Piano. That's New Year's Eve. That'd be a cracking night. And also, Gary and I talked about this. How about this for a brilliant New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day? Either ice skating in the rink at Centenary,
Yeah.
or getting on the big wheel
Oh,
and getting up the top of the big wheel when all the fireworks go off on New Year's Eve.
that would be a heck of a view. That'd be brilliant, that. There's only one person could do that, though. It can only be at the top at once. I just suppose if it's moving
Well,
around.
it'd keep going, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
But,
yeah.
but now, I tell you what, I bet it's packed. But yeah, a couple of nice things there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for that.
Okay,
Merry Christmas.
and you?
And I'll see you in the new year.
You will indeed. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Elaine Dozell joined the choir of George Dixon Junior School to switch on the lights of the ICC Christmas tree in the Mall.
Well, it's nice to be here again in the convention centre. This time a very pleasant duty to switch the lights on.
But I think we ought to get Mr. Mayor to put on his Santa hat. What does everyone think?
Yes. I'll put my countdown hat on. She brought this special for me tonight.
Oh, are we ready? 3, 2, 1.
Right after the break, we'll be looking back to see what's been making the news in the Christmas sense recently here on Birmingham News, so don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to our Christmas show with me, Lee Bannister. Time now for a look back at some of the Christmas-related stories that we've been covering recently on Birmingham News. And at the start of the month, the Lord Mayor of Birmingham continued a long-standing Christmas tradition as he hosted a party for primary school children across the region. The party was themed as the 12 Days of Christmas, and as well as balloon entertainment, choir singing and a buffet, the children were in for a treat when a rather special visitor arrived as part of his tour of the city. I'm sure you can guess who it was. And Norman Bartlam caught up with the man himself and asked him if the children had been well behaved.
I think good, because they have been so nice, and they wrote me a letter, and they were very good letters, lots of things there, and I'm very happy about that. Quite many thanked about last year's presents, and they wished Merry Christmas to everybody, for my elves, for my reindeers. They are so kind. They are so kind. You must be proud of them.
Well, the children certainly seemed to enjoy it, but what did the Lord Mayor of Birmingham make of Santa's visit?
I've loved it. To have the real Santa Claus all the way from Lapland to come to Birmingham to see the special children of this great city is truly remarkable. And the delight when the children were queuing up to see him will live with me for a very, very long time. It's fantastic to see kids really excited and looking forward to seeing the real Father Christmas.
Next, you may not think of a trip to the zoo as traditional festive family entertainment, but this year Dudley Zoo decided to put on something rather special for children and families. Their Winter Wonderland has been giving families the chance to enjoy Christmas in the company of their favourite animals. Olivia Marks went to find out more and bumped into someone who was gearing up for his busiest day of the year.
Ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas, everyone!
It's not just animals you'll be able to see at Dudley Zoo. Santa, along with his family and of course his elves, are there to celebrate Christmas. The Winter Wonderland package will run until Christmas Eve, which includes a meet and greet with Santa in his grotto, competitions, a special gift and a chance to see the reindeer.
It's just a wonderful experience, and you can see how I'm smiling. I've been doing it for 4 hours non-stop. It's just a wonderful time. Mums and dads go away happy because they get a picture of their darlings with a smiling Santa. because I smile at them all.
It's the first Christmas at the zoo for Tega the snow leopard and also Gimby the baboon. 2 reindeer were born here in the summer, but I'm sure they'll feel just at home now that it's winter and nearly Christmas.
Called one of them Sunflower, the son. They're roughly about 6 months old, 7 months old now. So they're growing up really, really fast. They're roughly about double, 3 times the size they was when they were first born. And obviously it's Christmas time now, so we walk our reindeers up to the grotto. Today was the first time for Jasmine to go up and see Santa today.
Jamie's been helping Jasmine get used to her visits to the grotto.
She's still finding her feet. The hardest part is she's getting used to having a halter on her head and being walked. But she was taken up there with Mum, so she was okay, and one other female. And she spent roughly about 3 hours up there today just to break her in, so it wasn't too bad for her.
The new animals will sure to be given a few extra treats for Christmas, as well as the visitors who can enjoy the Winter Wonderland. Olivia Marks, Birmingham News.
Now, we've seen a lot of jolly old St Nick so far this month on his whistle-stop tour across the Midlands. At one point, we found him in Solihull visiting children's parties as part of a local charity's attempts to ensure that children in the Midlands have a special day to remember this Christmas. Tom Bowen has more.
For most of us, Christmas is a time for celebration and spending time with loved ones. But amongst the mince pies and drink, it's easy to take it for granted. Variety, the children's charity, work with children from a range of backgrounds to ensure that children across the region have at least one special day to remember.
We've got 200 children from disadvantaged backgrounds but also disabled children, and we provide them with a memorable day. And so we've got a Christmas party happening whereby they have a festive, fun-filled afternoon. Santa's here providing each child with a gift. And just really an opportunity for children to enjoy themselves and have a bit of fun.
It's not every day that you get to meet Santa Claus, so just what do days like this mean to the children?
It's just really special for them to come out of their comfort zone, mingle with other schools and have the opportunity to meet other children as well. They've just absolutely loved it.
And what was their favourite part of the day?
Dancing, because I like the song. Going to see Santa and doing the dancing. My favourite part's been seeing Santa, and I like seeing Santa because it's been fun. Seeing Santa Claus.
And it's a special year for Variety as they celebrate 50 years of their Great Days Out programme.
Variety's Great Days Out programme is whereby we send children on great days out, memorable days out that otherwise children wouldn't get the opportunity to do. So it's 50 years of that this year, and we often send children to the cinema, to the seaside. We'll put on events such as our Christmas parties for those children, and as I say, it's an opportunity that those children often won't actually have, so we provide those.
But none of it could happen without the help of local businesses, with many providing presents for the children.
We've been really fortunate when you talk to businesses and you actually explain, you know, we quite often take Christmas for granted when actually there's children out there that won't be receiving a Christmas present, and they're all really keen to get on board, especially with the Christmas toy appeal whereby businesses are able to provide Christmas presents. So the majority response is that people are really keen to support us, and we're really fortunate.
Tom Bowen, Birmingham News.
Now, giving blood is one of the greatest gifts people can give over Christmas, and it can go as far as to save a life. But during the festive break, there's a rise in the number of appointments which are cancelled. Olivia Marks went to the Birmingham Blood Donor Centre to find out more.
Have you booked your next appointment?
Illness isn't a choice, nor can the timing be controlled. The need for life-saving blood and platelets is constant, and at Christmas there are no exceptions.
The winter months, it's people getting ill, elderly, younger babies and all this. And nowadays, 1 pint of blood can go to different people because we separate the components that go to different needs and meet lots of needs. There is no waste.
During December, the number of blood donor cancellations rises by almost a third, meaning around 24,000 appointments to give blood are missed, leaving those in need at risk.
I do feel it's important that people keep their appointments, but it's mainly because my understanding is that for quite a while now, the people who run this organisation, they're very short of blood.
For people who cancel, I mean, they make appointments, so they
offer their time, and yet they cancel without notice, which shows, I think, a lack of commitment.
Josiah is 21 months old and is one patient who's been reliant on blood transfusions since he was diagnosed with leukemia.
He spent from June last year until about January this year in Birmingham Children's Hospital. He received more than 20 blood and platelet transfusions, absolutely crucial part of his treatment. We know that cancellations are high at this time of year because people are so busy and people get ill as well.
NHS Blood and Transplant is urging donors in the city to stick to their appointments and donate blood to ensure hospitals can continue to treat patients like Josiah over the festive period.
He's gone from being the little baby looking extremely poorly at the Children's Hospital to being a toddler who's just into everything, particularly at Christmas. And so we are just so grateful to everybody, which is why we just encourage anybody else who is thinking about giving blood to go online to find out if they're eligible and then to book an appointment.
So I'm all done here, and that's my first time ever giving blood, and I have to say it's an amazing feeling to know that my blood could go on to save another person's life. Olivia Marks, Birmingham News.
Now, a local man from Willenhall, Matt Parks, has been on a mission to raise funds for the Haven in Wolverhampton and give less fortunate children a Merry Christmas. So we went along to see how he got on.
So the children have made these for you, just to say thank you. There's a little
Children dream of toys and presents for Christmas, but for some, this dream isn't possible without the help from others.
4 years ago, I came home from drinks with friends. I saw my little nephew's presents wrapped underneath the tree and just thought how lucky they were. Following that, I just thought about the kids that was just less fortunate and will wake up to nothing Christmas Day. So I just decided to contact a few friends through Facebook and maybe see if anyone would chip in £5, £10 and see what we could get.
Matt Parks formed Toys for Tots 4 years ago for local charity The Haven and has this year raised the most money with over £3,600 on toys and just under £3,000 on trips and activities for youngsters.
Luckily today when I've came into The Haven, they've given me some handmade cards, and it's really touching to actually receive something like that from the kids.
The charity are overwhelmed by Matt's support and can't wait to present the gifts to the children.
for people like Matt to be supporting us like that at Christmas is really brilliant, and we're really grateful. Each year it gets better and better, and this year to say he's raised £6,500 is just absolutely amazing.
Matt's already planning ahead to expand Toys for Tots next year.
I think 2017 we're going to try and beat this year's target and try and see if we can get even more than the toys and the amount of cash raised so far.
For these less fortunate children, Matt is without doubt their real-life Father Christmas. Olivia Marks, Birmingham News.
So then, time for another break now. When we come back, Johnny Doo will be here for his pick of the gigs. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Well, throughout 2016, we've been celebrating or commemorating key historic places and events that have taken place across the West Midlands. In Victoria Square, Birmingham, at Southport, on the Flying Scotsman, at Priory Park in Dudley, in Wolverhampton, in Portsmouth, in Arnhem, in Paradise, in Cradley Heath, in Centenary Square. Well, the year began on a sombre note with the centenary of the Zeppelin raids across the Black Country. A commemorative plaque was unveiled in Tipton. For me, a standout event occurred at a beach in Southport in March, when a Wolverhampton-built Sunbeam Tiger returned to the spot where 90 years ago it broke the land speed record. It was on the 16th of March 1926 that this car reached the then astonishing speed of 152 miles an hour, with Sir Henry Seagrave at the wheel. Sir Henry went on to become the first man to drive faster than 200 miles an hour when he set a new record in the USA. But the Daredevil died from his injuries when he set the water speed record on Windermere in 1930. back on nearly dry land, and to mark the anniversary of one of the proudest moments in Wolverhampton's motoring history, a festival of speed was held in Southport, featuring around 30 vehicles, all of which were built before 1935. The majority were built in the Sunbeam factory in the centre of Wolverhampton, which once employed around 6,000 workers. And the oldest vehicle in the festival today is this one, which was built in 1910. It was rescued from a scrap heap in 1954. This 1911 built Sunbeam also caught the attention of visitors.
1911 Sunbeam, 1620 model. There's a lot of 1216s, there's only 3 1620s left as far as we know. They only built 4 engines like this, and I've got those conrods at home. I decided to have new ones made because they were getting a bit fragile, because there's not a spare engine in the world, so if it goes bang, it goes bang. So yeah, I'm a very lucky boy to have such a toy to play with.
Back on the beach, the cars were put through their paces, and with Blackpool towering in the background, the 1926 record breaker returned to the scene of its original triumph for one last dash along the beach, roared on by thousands of spectators. A moment of history reenacted. So it was exactly 90 years ago today, on this very beach, that this car broke the land speed record, and it was made in Wolverhampton. The happy event saw the celebrations of the 40th anniversary of local radio in Wolverhampton. WCR-FM, the current community station in Wolverhampton, is remembering the early days of Beacon 303. Stuart Hickman, a familiar voice on Beacon, is now a regular on WCR 101.8 FM.
101.8 WCR-FM, the station with more for Wolverhampton, on a very special anniversary weekend. We're celebrating 40 years of local radio in Wolverhampton with the start of Beacon on the 12th of April 1976, and I have some old friends of mine in the studio with me.
Beacon Radio. Those were in the days when the jingles were better than the music.
You know, these guys, they are pure enthusiasts, and I just cannot believe it's 40 years ago since the Sunshine Sound of Beacon 303.
You are the sunshine, yeah. You are the reason we do what we do. You are the music we play. We do it for you on Beacon 303.
Thank you.
Another great day for me was attending the opening of the improved facilities at the Dudley Canal Tunnel. The Princess Royal officially opened the £3 million visitor facility at the Dudley Canal and Tunnel Trust's new portal building, which was completed last September. She met individuals who played a key part in the project. She was then taken on a 30-minute excursion into the heart of the canal tunnel network. A great highlight of 2016 was welcoming the Flying Scotsman to Birmingham. As I discovered, the train has got connections with Birmingham.
During the Flying Scotsman's most recent £4.2 million overhaul, we did quite a lot of the work here on the Scotsman, but quietly behind the scenes. A lot of the motion that you see behind me, the rods connected to the wheels, and the wheels themselves were overhauled here at Tyseley. Of course, when you see these things, you're typically standing on a platform next to them, and so you only see the top half. We're standing down at rail level next to the motion, a lot of which was overhauled at Tyseley, and we're also standing next to the wheels, which I'm 6'2", and they're a lot larger than I am.
And we'll be getting up ahead of steam again and making tracks to a historical event near you in 2017.
Now, time to head on over to meet Johnny Doom from his Amped desk as he gives us his weekly pick of the upcoming gigs.
Right, it's me, Johnny Doom, from your weekly rock show on Made in Birmingham, Amped. Yeah, you can see it Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, repeated Wednesday and Friday at 10:30. Here's my pick of the gigs. Anyway, if you like it heavy, go and see Meshuggah. Yes, 13th of January. It's a Friday as well at the O2 Institute. Same night, yes, Friday the 13th, you've got Devil You Know as well, the Killswitch Engage offshoot. That's O2 Institute as well in a different room. And Avenged Sevenfold and Disturbed, they're playing the Genti Arena. That's the same day as well, 13th of January. Lot going on. Here's Disturbed anyway. This is their cover of The Sound of Silence. Beautiful.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell.
And thanks to Johnny Doom there, and an interesting choice of music for Christmas. As he said, he'll be back with Amped a little later on in the week. And so, it is time to close the pages of the magazine for the moment here on Christmas Eve. So whatever you're up to, I do hope you have a lovely Christmas day. Now, I'll be back here with you on Christmas Day at 6 in the morning and again at 6 in the evening, just in case you missed any of the wonderments that we've covered today. And remember, Birmingham News will be with you during the week at 6 and 9 in the evening. And this week we're running a special review of the year, which you can also catch in full with me on the New Year edition of the magazine. So from the whole team here, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. Try a bit. Put me hat back on.